Hello subscribers, today I'm going to show you how to install recessed lighting. For this project we're going to be using these 5-inch cans that we're going to install in the ceiling and these LED recessed trim kits that are going to go inside of here. So one of the first things you want to do is really figure out how many you need and where you want to space them. And right now you can see these little pieces of paper hanging here. They're just really for your benefit, so you can kind of see where I've made my marks. And what I decided to do was go with 6, and I'm going to have it on a dimmer switch. These are dimmable lights here. Now spacing them out, initially when you think about it, could be one of the hardest decisions you're going to make. What I decided to do was go 3 feet in either direction and find the midpoint here. So this is 3 feet out from this wall and 3 feet out from this wall. Okay, so once you measure that way, you'll get your 4 corners measured out 3 feet and 3 feet. And then once you have your 4 corners done, you just measure the midpoint between the two. Okay, so that one in the center is the midpoint between those ends. So right here you see these couches are pulled to the center and tarped over. So the reason why I decided on 3 was I did not want to have the light basically shining on top of your head when you're sitting on the couch, and I would prefer to have it towards the edge of the couch down here, and that's really where I came up with the 3 feet. Plus when you enter this room here, it's a nice spot here for it. We're not too close to the fireplace. It's not right up on top of it, so that's pretty much why I decided to go with that spacing. So we're going to take out this 80s track lighting and also that ceiling fan, and the wiring and the power that's being used for this track lighting is what we're going to use to power the LED lights that we're installing. So this is going to have to come down, and we're going to jump the wires from here to the cans that we're going to install. But the first thing we have to do is cut the power. The track lighting and the ceiling fan are now down. You can see it actually open up the room a little bit. One of the things that I forgot to mention before, when you're measuring to determine where to place the lights, you absolutely must know where your ceiling joists are. In this situation, they run in this direction, and because I'm fortunate enough to be able to get into the attic above to take a look and kind of measure off of where the box was for the track lighting, I knew that where I was placing them was in between the ceiling joists. So that's very important. What you don't want to do is measure and go through all this work and drill a hole, and the next thing you know, you've got a beam right next to there and you cannot fit the can into that spot. So you need at least enough room for this to fit in there. So make sure you take the time to know where your ceiling joists are. After we're done with the light install, we're going to have to patch these holes. I'm going to be capping off these electrical boxes first, pushing them up into the attic, okay? And then we're going to patch the holes, and I'm going to do another video showing you how to patch sheetrock holes. We're ready to cut our hole now for the cans, and they provide you with this little template where you can put it up against the ceiling and cut around, trace it and cut around it. I'm going to secure the template with a screw in the center, and then I'll draw the circumference with a pencil. Now you can see we've got the hole traced, and we're ready to cut the hole out. We're going to use one of these drywall saws. You can get it at any of your home improvement stores, and I'm also going to leave a link below. If you just feel like buying it online, you can do that, but these things work great, and you've got a point on the end so you can start your pilot hole, and it cuts through pretty quickly. once you get the can up into the wall, I want to show you how this thing works. These tabs here, they'll get folded down before you slide this thing up into the ceiling, okay? And then you'll see the screw here. You'll screw this down, and when you do that, these tabs will come up, and then will squeeze itself up against the sheetrock, and will adhere the can up into the ceiling. Okay, it'll squeeze down and pinch it, and we'll hold it up in place. So it's pretty simple. Again, fold the tabs down to slide it up into the ceiling, and then once it's up there, once you start screwing this down, the tab flips out and then comes this way to tighten. Okay, so now we got the first one in, and off camera I'm going to do the other 5. You don't need to watch me do the same thing 5 times. When I'm finished, we'll come back. Before we get this last can in the ceiling, I want to explain what's going to happen with the wiring while I have this light down here. Before I get in the attic, it's going to be a little bit dark. I'm going to have some lighting up there, but you might not be able to see what I'm talking about. So when this gets in the ceiling and we go to wire everything together, what we're going to do is we're going to strip the ends, which you'll see me do, but you'll notice we have these easy slots to plug the wires into. No more wire nuts. So you'll put your white wire here, your black one here, and your ground in the middle. Okay? And then you'll pop these tabs out. This tab pop down. You'll drop your wire in, and then if you have a second wire, because we probably will, we're going to railroad these things. So one wire in, one wire out to the next light. Put the 2 wires down here, snap the lid shut, and the wire is secure. Okay. So we've got all 6 of the cans in the ceiling now, all secured, and next step is to go up in the attic and wire them up. We're going to strip enough wire, maybe about this. We're going to pull the insulation back, the outer insulation about this far, because we want to make sure that the inner wires are not sticking out of the box. We only need to strip about a ½ inch off of the end of each of these 2 wires. Now we're going to plug the black into the black socket, the white into the white, and the ground into the center where the ground goes. I'm going to plug my second set in now. I'm going to pull the wires down through here. Here, and then just shut the lid. So now you can see we're going to move on to the next one after that, and follow all the way around and do all 6. Same process. I'm going to show you now how we actually put the light fixture in, okay? So these fixtures are, pretty simple. It's an LED light, but what you have here is really the back end of a light bulb. You're going to screw this in to where a traditional light bulb will have screwed into. Okay, you screw that in, and once that's in, you're going to take these tabs, these wires, you're going to squeeze them in, okay? The reason you're going to squeeze them in is they have to fit right in here, in this slot. Squeeze them in, slide them in, and then do that on both sides and push the light fixture up against the can, and it'll hold itself. Now we're going to install the first one into the ceiling, and I'll proceed with the next 5 after this. We're going to screw this right into the light bulb socket. Squeeze the tabs. And just push it up. Okay, everybody, so the project's finished. These are the lights now on the dim setting, and now raising it up, you can see how bright it is in here. A huge difference. It really was not that difficult of a project. It just took a couple of hours and just some careful measurement and careful planning, but this is a job that virtually anybody can do. I recommend trying it yourself at some point. You can see we got a couple of holes here left where the track lighting and the ceiling fan was. As I mentioned, I'm going to do a follow-up video on how to patch holes in drywall, so look for that pretty soon. And hopefully this helped you. If so, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon for future upcoming videos. Thanks, and have a great day.